Some of you have problem in identifying market structure. So I've come up with a nice strategy that's going to help you as a beginner to identify market structure well and be able to make good money. So I'm Homie Till, I'm the godfather of price action. Come with me as I take you through understanding market structure. So we are back again, and now we're going to, and the topic is understanding what? Understanding market structure. Some of you don't understand bullish, bearish, and consolidating market structure. We must understand first our market moves under what? Our market moves under our market moves. Our market moves under three direction. Under three direction, there is a bullish market, bullish. There is a bearish market, bearish, and there is a ranging or consolidating market. Take notes, guys. Take notes. Let's start the bullish market. If you see your market move in the series, this series, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This is your higher high. This is your higher low, right? Higher high, take notes, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. That's the sequence of the market moving. Make sure your higher low isn't overtaken. Right? If your market is bullish, make sure your higher low is not overtaken. As you can see, this higher low didn't overtake this one. This didn't overtake this one. This market remains to be bullish. This is another example of a bullish market. Let me show you another example of a bullish market. Telling you another example of a bullish market. Right. This is another example of a bullish market. Here is higher low. Here is what? Higher high. Right. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Sorry. Then there is the higher high, higher high, higher high. When you see a higher low isn't being overtaken, your market remains to be bullish. Okay, so just know when your high low isn't overtaken, your market remains to be what? Your market remains to be bullish. The same thing, we're going to the bearish market, series of lower low, lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low. Right, here here is there, here is your lower high. Sorry, lower high. Here is your lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. The same thing. If you see your lower high isn't overtaken by your market remains to be what? Your market remains to be bullish. In bearish. In bullish, it was your higher low, right? In bearish, it's your lower high. Bullish, make sure your higher low isn't being overtaken. Bearish, make sure lower high isn't being what? Overtaken. There's another example of a bearish structure here. This market isn't ranging. Here's your lower high. Here down here, it's our lower low, lower low. The same thing, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower low. Then lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low. You see, this lower high has an overtake this one. This lower high has an overtake what? This one. This lower high has an overtake this one. This lower high has been overtaken. This lower high hasn't been done what? Hasn't been overtaken. So, if you're bullish, make sure your higher low isn't overtaken. If you're bullish, make sure your lower high hasn't been done what? Been overtaken. We can go through examples. Because we're looking for market structure, and I told you we're looking for only for market structure in the bigger time frame, weekly, daily, and the 4-hour time frame. Let's go to this pair. Let's go to the daily time frame, to the higher time frame. Yeah, this market remains to be what? This market remains to be bullish. Here is your higher low, the same thing, higher low, the same thing, higher low. Watch keenly, higher low, higher low, then higher low. The reason why we are justifying this market to be bullish is because of what? It's because our higher low isn't been over what? Overtaken. Right. See here we had our lower low, lower high, for example, lower high, then lower high, then lower high. You see, in this case, our market overtook our what? Our lower high. You see, took our lower high, broke, did a retest, the market changes direction. You can go to another pair. Let me go to something like USD Tell me the structure of this market. Here, our market was also on our bullish market, on a bullish structure. But there was a higher low in this place here. Here we had a what? Here we had a higher low. Our market overtook what? Our market overtook our higher low, then did what? Did a retest. You see, our market is doing what? Our market started doing what? Our market started selling. You see, so here we're just identifying market structure. When we identify if our market's bullish and if our market's bearish. And take notes, if it's bullish, make sure your higher low isn't been overtaken. And if it's bearish, make sure your lower high isn't done what? Done overtaken. We can go to another pair. Let me go to BTC USD. The same thing, we only look for market structure on the bigger time frame, weekly, daily, and the 4-hour time frame. So let's see the structure of this market. Bearish. Here we had our lower high, our lower high, our lower high. Market did a fake out, then continued with our lower high, then our what? Our lower high. This market is bearish. We are only looking for selling opportunities, not buying opportunities. I repeat again, when you want to look for the market structure, only go to the weekly or daily and 4-hour time frame only. And 4 time frame, yeah, 4 time frame. Here we're on a daily time frame. Here we had our what? Here we had our lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Here's a fake out, lower high, lower high, lower high. If our markets manage to break our lower high, this market will have shifted structure. But if our markets respect the way it has respected in this previous move, our market remains to be bearish. So this structure of this market is bearish. We're only looking for selling opportunities. We can go to another pair. Let me add any pair. Let me add something like GBP card. Let me come here. Nice one. We're in the daily time frame. Let's go to the weekly time frame. The structure of this market, I'm giving you 2 seconds to identify bullish, bearish, or consolidating. The structure of this market is bullish. The reason being, what is overtaken? Our higher low. So see, higher low are constant. Our higher low are constant. Our market remains to be what? This structure of this market is what? This structure of this market is bullish. So when you scale lever to smaller time frame, just look for what? Just look for bullish opportunities. Okay, you can add another last example. Euro, JPY. Yeah, let me add. After I add, you must get into the bigger time frame to look for the market structure. Let me add. Nice one. I'm giving you people to identify. Some of you will say it's bearish, some of you will say it's bullish. No, this market is now bearish. The reason being our higher low has been done what? Our higher low has been overtaken. You see, we had our higher low. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high. The market managed to come and overtake our higher low. So this market is done. We are doing what? We are looking for selling opportunities. Just keep note. If it's bullish, make sure your what? Your higher low isn't overtaken. If it's bearish, make sure your what? Your lower high isn't been overtaken. This is the simplest way of you identifying market structure in the Forex market. I hope you have understood market structure and identifying market structure. If you want to learn more, my WhatsApp number is down in the description. If you want free signal or free mentorship, the Telegram link is down in the description. Best broker I'm using is Valetax. Make sure you create your account and peace out. I'm Homie Till. I'm the godfather of price action. Yes, sir.